Okay. I think I got you.
Got it?
Got it.
That.
All right. Look at that, man.
Fucking miracle.
Fucking technology, man.
Well, when you're dealing with technology and me, then it's a whole different story. So.
Why have a switch? Why have a switch to turn on a microphone in something that essentially is a fucking microphone?
Right.
Right. I mean, the point of Zoom is to talk. Unless you're a mime,
yeah,
I don't see any other reason for turning that switch
right
off.
At the fucking top there's a microphone with a little slash in there.
Yeah.
You hit it, does nothing.
Right.
So,
right. Craziness. Stupid. That's right. Damon Drummond.
That's me, the one and only. Well, there's
one and only.
There's a whole bunch if you look it up. So,
well, man,
I thought I was special.
No, well, you know what? If you Google Damon Drummond, you get like it says robot art. There's Pinterest. There's Instagram.
Oh, so I'm right up at the top.
So you're the number one Damon Drummond. Now, you own a shop called Hi-Octane Studio.
I do.
That's where you are right now. I'm not sure what I'm gonna.
It's my slash house. I live upstairs, so I got a whole 5,000 square foot studio downstairs.
Dude, that's the dream, man.
It's an old dairy. I bought an old dairy.
Right.
So I had a 100 by 40 garage. So I pulled in the driveway and I was like, sold.
That's awesome, man. That's so cool. That is literally the dream.
It's
so
pretty sweet.
You're a found object artist, right? I mean, and there could be other ways to say it, but you do everything from robot art.
That's how I say it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Everything from robot art to hot rods, sculptures, and basically anything that can be considered junk turned into something beautiful. I mean,
I go scrapyard all the time and drag crap out there. It's it's junk. It's worthless crap until you turn it into something.
That's right. So now, where are you located? I know you're in Ohio, but what town you're in?
Copley. It's like it's Akron. I got an Akron address, but it's a township. I'm looking to buy a big building.
Right.
Looking for something to open up a big store and stuff.
Yeah. So,
because I used to have a big old place that I sold out of, like 15,000 square feet.
Right.
And I need to open something else because I sell to like the movies and stuff. I sell props, like Netflix, all that stuff.
That's awesome.
So I want to open another store, and I have like these sections where it's like 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, and they just come in and pick stuff out.
Right.
Because my buddy, he works for the movie. He's a set guy. He builds all the sets and stuff, decorates them and stuff. So he gets me all kinds of crazy stuff from the movies that they don't use anymore that they used.
Right.
So it's pretty sweet.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, do you ever provide any props to any shows or movies?
Now and then, yeah.
Yeah. And now, how do people buy your stuff? Like, since you're,
when it comes to like movie props and stuff, they can rent it or buy it.
Okay.
Then like my sculpture. You talk about my sculpture stuff?
Yeah, like besides movie props. Like let's say I wanted to buy something from you. How would I go about it?
Well, I did have a website, but the host sucks, so it's still there. I got to get it back up. But usually I just put stuff on Instagram, a little bit on Facebook here and there, and it's just kind of like a word of mouth. People just get a hold of me.
Sure.
So I sold something to Robbie Wolf from Pickers. I sold him a hot rod sculpture, but he had texted me. Somebody gave him my number, and he texted me, and I just kind of showed him around, like did a little like, hey, I got this, I got this, I got this, and
right.
He saw the hot rod thing, and he wanted that. So of course it wasn't finished, like the majority of my stuff. So I had to finish it for him, and but no, man, he loved it, And I shipped some stuff out to London for a book, and they go all over the world. I can't even remember where half my stuff went.
Right.
So I was like, everybody wants this or that. I'm like, I don't even know where it went. It's been so long.
So now the guy from American Pickers, did he buy that for like his personal collection, or is that something?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. We had dinner a few times, went out to dinner and stuff. And yeah, the Pickers were supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Like they came out and filmed and did pictures and all that stuff. And then they found some other place in Ohio that was like, had been untouched for years and years. And so they went there instead. But the guy that was doing all the pictures, and he said he's going to bring him back because he was flipping out over the place. So
right.
My place is more organized. They want to go in that old barn where the shit's just, been in there for 90 years.
Yeah, you got to dig through shit to find it.
Right.
So what are people's like first initial reactions when they walk into see your place?
Dude, everybody that comes in, like I sell a lot on Facebook and stuff, and just whatever. People come up, as soon as they walk in the door, they're like, "Oh my God, the pickers would love this place."
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's funny you should say that. You know.
I mean, just from the pictures that you sent me, it's mind blowing. We may be visiting Ohio over the summer with Joe.
Oh, okay.
So I'm definitely going to be swinging by if that's the case.
Joe was here.
Yeah.
But it was back when I first kind of moved in.
Right.
So it wasn't, I didn't put my touches on it as much.
Right.
I go ridiculous everywhere I go. It's just, I'm surrounded by this stuff because I'm here every day,
Right.
You got to surround yourself with cool shit.
That's right, man. Especially if it's like your passion, something you love,
Oh, I see these TV shows and all this stuff, and it's like the place is just like barren. I'm like, dude, you're here every day and there's nothing on the walls. There's nothing.
Now I know we're going to talk about your TV appearances in a little bit. But I've actually been to that shop in Vegas, the Pawn Stars shop.
Tiny.
And I was just going to say that I was surprised how tiny it was. And really there wasn't much in there when I was there.
It looks awesome on TV, man. You get there and they're like, "Oh, there's a gold watch in the case." Whoa.
Right.
And a picture of George, Morrison on the wall.
And then the whole middle of the store was just like merchandise,
Right. Oh yeah.
Which I understand. Obviously, you want to do that. But I didn't expect any of that. I thought I was going to go and like look at all this crazy shit all day long, and I was in and out in like 5 minutes.
Oh, the one whole wall is just T-shirts, for buying T-shirts.
Right. That's what I mean.
But it's every place, it's like,
yeah.
But yeah, on TV, everything looks amazing.
Right.
And there's people that stand in line like all day long to get in that place.
I know. Yeah, we stood in line it wasn't long, but they weren't there. It was just
they're never there.
Yeah, right. They just probably come in the film at this point.
That's what when I do it, that's what happens.
Right. So for the people listening, give them an idea of like what you do.
I just go to scrap yards and dig around. I find just old rusty junk and just whatever. And I turn it into like robots and hot rods and like big, like I made a big dragster. It's, it's 5 feet long, but it's made of an old street light.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, what you said, found objects, you just take found objects that's like, doesn't have a purpose except for it's a hair dryer.
Right.
But, like you get some of these old Art Deco hair dryers and I'll turn them into rocket ship engines and stuff like that. Like stuff had soul back then.
Yeah.
Like it didn't matter. It worked, but it still had to look cool. Now a hair dryer is a chunk of plastic with no design to it. It's just junk, man.
Absolutely.
So everything I use is basically vintage.
Right.
Because, new stuff doesn't have anything to it.
No.
Unless they try to reproduce it to make it look old. Then sometimes I'll use some of that stuff. But yeah, I just make sculptures out of stuff.
Yeah, man. And I say that all the time. Things are just not made the same as they used to be. Everything's disposable now.
It's made to fail, made to throw away.
Right. It's like it's got a 5-year life and that's it.
It's just like a refrigerator, man. It's meant to last 5 years. That's it.
Right. It's ridiculous.
Throw it away.
Right.
Then you get ones from 1909 that still work.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Dude, it pisses me off so bad. Like just the worthless garbage they make. And they have board meetings and stuff like, how can we make this fail at a certain time? And
right. Let's make this expire. Yeah.
I guarantee you they do. They just have corporate meetings on how to make shit crappy,
Absolutely. It's all numbers, man. It's all money and numbers.
It's stupid.
Yeah. So
you can't make money if it lasts.
That's right. But at the same time, I'd rather pay more for something that's going to last.
Dude, that's my life thing. It's like, hey, do you got something made in America that I could buy?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So you're stuck with it.
So how long have you been doing this?
Since I was a little kid. I mean, not like I do now, but
right.
I mean, I'd get in trouble because I took a vacuum cleaner apart to see what's inside it, so I could, make stuff for my Star Wars people and make a spaceship, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I remember. It's all about just I would be completely always taking stuff apart or trying to make it better. Like my mom got a big Curtis Mathis floor model television. you know, the big monsters that sat on the floor.
Yeah.
The day we got it home, I had the back off, hooking up speakers to it, because I had one little speaker. You know, I'm wiring speakers in there. It wasn't stereo, but it was like, woo, this is amazing. You know,
right.
But my mom's like flipping out because she just bought it, and I'm taking the whole back off and, you know, wiring shit in there. It's like, hey, it worked.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, you know, what inspires you to start doing this? And obviously you like to see, you know, things taken apart. You want to see what makes it work, right?
Oh, well, usually the stuff that's inside is way cooler than the outside, you know,
right?
Because there's so much mechanical stuff going on inside things. Like a typewriter, I use the shit out of typewriters, like for intricate, like the sculpture I sold Robbie from Pickers, like the majority, it was all made out of typewriter parts because they're super intricate little tiny pieces. Like whoever made a typewriter to start was like a genius. I'm like, if you take an old typewriter apart, there's thousands and thousands of pieces.
Right.
It's just amazing, man.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's crazy, man. And now, you know, everything is in your phone. You know, you don't need a typewriter. You don't need.
Oh, you don't need anything.
You don't even need camera equipment anymore. You can make a movie on your phone if you really wanted to.
Dude, there's more technology in your pocket than it took to go to the moon, man.
I know. It's really, really insane. And, you know, we can't even figure out how to put the mic on, you know?
Well, you could, I couldn't.
Dude, you know what? I'm like tech support for everybody. Everybody calls me no matter what time of day or night it is to help them with something. And I don't mind doing it, but I'm not a genius, man. I just Google it. I Google it, you know, just like we just did. You know? Yeah.
Everybody Googles, you know, oh, when did that guy die? I'm gonna Google it.
Right. And to be honest with you, as much as the technology I think is too much sometimes, I can't imagine living without it now.
Oh yeah, you got it
you
now.
Know?
It's like, damn, like how did you get along, you know? Like I'm the worst. I can't read a map.
Yeah.
You know, so I got GPS, man. It's
like, man, you're telling me.
I can sit and look at a map and figure it out, but like driving down the road, looking at one, forget about it, man. It's like, that's one of the best things, technology for me, man. And how much stuff you can sell. You like, if you can't make money nowadays and you got a smartphone, like I don't get it, man.
Yeah, I know, man. It really is crazy.
Like I sell anything and everything. It don't matter what it is. Like I just have that mind. I just know like if stuff's worth something.
Yeah.
And I just drag it home and sell it, man. I'll buy something for $2 and sell it for $2,000. You know, it's like not all the time, but it's crazy. Like,
yeah.
Because I go to the scrapyard and the stuff that they throw away, like people are throwing, I'm like, oh my God, man. It's like, did you look? You know what I mean? Because it's like, they just throw it there and it's just like,
well, give me
get out of there.
Give me an example. Like what's something you found in a scrapyard that you were like, what the fuck? Well, why did this person throw this out?
Oh yeah, I found gold, like, you know, because people die and then they go through their stuff and they just take it to the scrapyard and throw it away. It's just like,
right.
I've got like gold necklaces. I'm still sitting around. I got all this stuff sitting. I need to get rid of it, but it's like, you know, it's like, I'll get to that.
Yeah.
Every time I'm cleaning, I'm like, oh, there's $1,000. There's you know?
Right. It's like just finding the right person to buy it or right market, whatever.
Oh, I mean, I could sell it all like real quick, easy, you know, eBay, Facebook, all that stuff. But I just get lazy. You know, it's like, I'm like, I got some money. I don't
save it for a rainy day. Yeah, save it for a rainy day.
If I'm broke, then I'll bust out all my shit.
Right.
But yeah, dude, it's like, it's crazy, man. It's just what gets thrown away, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, besides going to like scrap yards, do you go to, I mean, I'm sure you go to thrift stores and things like that to find things.
I used to go to the thrift store quite a bit, not as much anymore. I mean, because the scrap yard, it's just, I use a lot of metal. It's majority of metal stuff that I can weld. So it's, you know, you'll find certain things at a thrift store.
Right.
But, you know, if I'm at the thrift store, I'm there to buy stuff to sell, you know, like as vintage stuff or whatever. But for my sculptures, I don't really go there much anymore. I don't have time, man.
Right.
It's just nonstop.
Yeah.
So,
because
I only do my sculptures in the wintertime. Because in the summertime, I'm building cars and, you know, just outside doing stuff.
Right.
But, you know, I got my daughter, and so I've got to make time for her.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've been to thrift stores and things like looking for cool old stuff. And I feel like they kind of know the value of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, nowadays it's like,
Yeah.
like Goodwill has their own thing where they put it all online and sell it. It's like,
Right.
or you go in there and it's like $300, and it's like,
exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
Come on, man. It's like,
yeah. I remember going into a Goodwill and they have like a display case. I'm like, a display case? This is other people's stuff that they threw out,
Oh yeah.
And you're selling it for, what I can get it on eBay. Like I come here to, get it cheaper, right? I find that strange.
Well, it's kind of like, it's weird because like, nowadays they just look it up and they know, so they put it at high prices. But pre-internet, man, I would go to Goodwill and there was all kinds of mid-century modern furniture. And like, I remember I was at the one Goodwill or Salvation Army, and I don't know if you ever heard of an Eames chair.
Yeah.
Well, there was the legit one there, and the
wow
for $35. What? And it was like, I'm like, $35. I don't know. So I passed on it, you know what I mean? And then I bought some other stuff, and then like there was a Noguchi table, and they're big money now. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go back and get that thing. And I turned around, and a guy standing with it in the line. But there was no internet, so that stuff wasn't worth like a ton of money,
right? Like
it is now. But now that it's worth a ton of money, you have an avenue to sell it. It costs too much.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, because I had to struggle to make money back when there was no internet.
Sure.
And then eBay came along, and I remember doing eBay when it first started. It was hard to do, man. That was before there was no cameras. When eBay started, there was no pictures of what you were buying.
I remember that.
There was no picture.
I was one of the first. I was one of the first people on eBay.
Me too.
Yeah. And
you had to use AOL. You had to use HTML code. Like when you put a picture in, when they finally had a digital camera,
right?
It was all HTML code to put in that shit, and it was like, I used to go out there with my video camera, like the big shoulder one, and videotape what I needed. Then there was a thing called a Snappy where you could image capture stuff,
right,
off a video. And that's what I was using, man. It was like, now I can't even get myself to put nothing on there. I'm like, oh, that's so much work. I don't want to. But
I know it is, and they have apps like OfferUp and Let Go and things like that. And you literally take a picture of what you're selling and it knows what it is.
Oh, it's crazy, man. It's like,
like you take a picture of a chair.
Find out
like
anything you want to know about anything nowadays. I mean,
yeah, it's really crazy. So what are some of like the most sought after items that you personally make that people really want?
That I make?
Yeah, like either your like robot sculptures or
a lot
like
of
that.
the robots. People love it.
Those robots are awesome.
I make the ones that have like emotion to them. I'll make them where I made a sad one.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of like people went boom, it was called Even Robots Get the Blues.
Right.
And he was super sad. He's got wilted flowers, He took flowers to some new robot chick and she wasn't impressed, because she's new and uppity. He's all beat up,
Yeah.
But people love to have a story to them. They got emotion to them. Because I see a lot of people making robots out there.
Yep.
And they're just standing there.
They're
like,
static.
Yes. Like you got to put some emotion to it. You got to make it, like it's doing something.
That's right.
So
yeah,
that was kind of my niche of the robots.
Yeah. Yeah. With any kind of art, it's like, you got to add that emotion to it. Absolutely.
And I don't see much of it at all, man. It's like, plus you got to have, like, when I make stuff, I got a huge, vast array of stuff to pick from, like, because I've surrounded myself and I bought so much of it. I like a lot of other people, they only have, like, I see their studio, a couple tables of stuff. So that's all you got to work with. And I won't finish a project if I don't have the right piece for it. Right. It just sits there and I go to something else. So yeah, I just can't get myself to use what I have if it's not right. It's like, you want to be resourceful to a certain extent. If it doesn't fit, if it doesn't fit, or you need, like, you have a specific idea of exactly what you want it to look like, then you wait for it. That's cool. That's even cooler. It's, I'll have like 10 pieces at a time going on. Yeah. Or I just get burnt out on something, if it's like bigger piece that I just don't feel like finishing. The problem is I'll be looking for that one piece that I'm working on, and I'm like, ooh, what's that? Then I'll start something else. I'm like, ooh, this looks funner. So that one gets shoved over there, and it's an artist. And I don't think there's any artist that, like, completely just goes balls out and gets everything finished, like, right then. I'm sure there's one or two, but I'm not one of them.
No, it makes sense. What are some of like the craziest items you've acquired? Like, I mean, illegal or taboo, or even like, I don't know if you even believe in this stuff, but like cursed, like something that maybe had something attached to it.
Yeah, it's like, I always think about that stuff, because it's like, I buy a lot of dead people stuff, it's like that people die and throw it away. It's like, but nothing yet that I haven't having any curses that I know of,
Yeah.
I mean, right. I have a foot from like the 1800s, like somebody's foot. Like it's their foot. It's like it looks like a, it's all kind of black and stuff. It looks like a mummy's foot, but it's a legit foot, man. It's like, but I bought it at a flea market thing. I'm like, a foot, only $100. It's from the 1800s.
So there you go.
I got somebody's leg hanging on the garage door. Like it's a legit leg, but it's like one of those scientific skeleton legs.
Sure.
That teach you, but it's somebody's leg, man. I was offered a what's their name? They have that big club. I can't even think. It's like a society, the Odd Fellows.
Okay.
Well, they had a lot of these lodges had like this coffin with like a mid-sized skeleton in it, like a real skeleton.
Right.
And somebody, but it was like kind of like looked like a teenager or something. I was like, I just couldn't do it, man. It was
man.
Like where'd that thing come from? You know what I mean? It's like, and it was old too. You could tell because it was like in a wooden black coffin with like purple velvet, and it just sat in there, and it's just like, nah. Or like a skeleton head. I don't want nobody's head sitting around. Like I'll take a foot.
Yeah.
Like I got some dead cats, like mummified dead cats.
Right.
That are just like I got them literally at an insane asylum up in Pennsylvania that they were tearing down. It was like 13 buildings on 300 acres. And I had another shop, and people would call me all the time, and I'd go like, hey, we're tearing this down. Come look and see if there's anything you want, because you can take anything you want for a certain price. But like building architectural stuff, they're tearing it down, so I could pull it out of there. But
right.
And then but this was like a whole community of little houses and stuff where the nurses and the doctors had. But there was 3 dead cats up on a porch, and the people with me are like, what the fuck are you taking these cats for? But they're mummified. It has to be perfect conditions to mummify one of those. Right. But I sold one for $100.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
hey, listen, sells.
Sold a dead cat, man.
Well, I think but someone bought a dead cat is the right way to say that.
Yeah, right. Somebody bought a dead cat.
Like you bought it for a purpose to sell it, but someone bought it to put it in their home.
I have one left sitting in a box somewhere.
Got one left.
But it's kind of like, yeesh,
Yeah.
It's not like I have it sitting on the mantle.
Yeah. So now is it legal to own like a foot from like a certain time period,
after this? Where's you have a foot, man?
Yeah, no, I don't even mean it like that. Like I wonder if there's a like a certain time cutoff where it's considered a vintage item and not like you just have some
for sure, man.
Yeah
guaranteed. It's like this one's like literally from the 1800s, so it's
that's
like
nuts.
You could do whatever you want back then.
Right.
Like I have a tiger skull that's really old, but you can't have a tiger skull nowadays.
Right.
There's no, it's kind of like elephant tusks.
Yes.
If they're way, way, way back,
yeah.
When there wasn't regulations and all this crap.
I gotcha.
So, I got all kind. Dude, I got so much weird shit. It's ridiculous, man. Like,
I once, I'm into like some weird shit myself, and I don't want a dead cat, but
I'll hook you up, man. I got one.
Yeah. $50. No.
$50. Even
I went around. I would go around to thrift shops and find some weird shit. I once bought this. I bought an item. It was like an old medical bag, like an old doctor's bag, and it had all kinds of like ancient instruments in there. In particular, I found this like metal gas mask. It was dated back to like World War II, and just the gas mask like this, not the whole face.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like just goes over your nose and mouth. And the thing just creeped me out, man. And I just loved it. And I even got a can of like ether with it.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Did it smell good?
Well, I couldn't open it because the guy told me not to open it because
right.
It could spark and explode.
Yeah.
So for some stupid ass reason, I put it on eBay and it got taken down because of the ether. So I got rid of the ether, but I sold the mask. And man, when I had that thing in my house, shit was not right. Things were just not right. My wife would wake up at the same time every night and like have this like weird feeling,
like the Brady Bunch TV guy.
yeah.
I gotta take it back.
Exactly, man. The thing was there was definitely something attached to it, without a doubt. Because once it was gone, it was gone.
Oh, I guarantee you that happens, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, that's some weird stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like, any medical stuff is weird too, like old vintage medical stuff.
Right.
It's crazy though, you know. That's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I like the aesthetic of it, but I you're taking a chance.
I got like all kinds of gas masks, like World War II gas masks. And
right.
I got Civil War stuff, and, you know.
Or do you do any like markets or fairs or anything like that?
I used to set up the flea market like a lot. Like,
yeah.
I don't do it anymore. It's a pain in the ass. It's so much work. Because when I did it, I'd bring 2 box trucks full of stuff.
Right.
You know, because I'm there to make some money. I'm not bringing like putting shit on my hood.
Right.
You know, pulling it out of my trunk, man. I'm like I'm selling some shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I sold a ton of stuff, but it was like, oh my God, you got to pack up these trucks and put it out on there. And then, you know, then you got to pack it, what you didn't sell, pack it back up and then unload it. I'm like, so I was doing it was twice a year. It was a real big one at the Hartville Flea Market. They'd have it twice a year. Or if they have like a special event, I'd set up at that. And like, you know, I put my sculptures out there and stuff like that. But,
right.
You know, definitely wasn't going to get rich from it. So
what do you,
money, you know?
Yeah. What do you sell, like on average, like one of your little robot sculpture? Well, first of all, I don't mean to say little, like, are they little? Are they big?
Yeah, they're not little, man. No, they're like, you know, it depends. Like some of them I got are 4 feet. Some of them are 6 feet.
Oh, wow.
Some of them are 2 feet, you know, it just depends.
Yeah.
You know, I have one that he's probably like, the robot himself is probably like 7 inches tall. They're all over the place.
Right, right.
You know, but you talking like price wise?
Yeah, like I guess, you know, give me a price range from
that's
small
all
to big.
Over, like I'll have some that'll start at like $400,
okay,
the lowest, you know, then go up.
Yeah.
So, you know, like then I'll have a big one, you know, it'll be 10 grand.
Right.
Like for like a life size robot or whatever.
Yeah.
So, because I'm making at the moment, like I don't know if you know what a board track racer motorcycle is.
No.
From like the Harley stuff, like from the very early, the teens when they first started, they used to race them on wooden boards on board track. So they're called board track racer. But you know, I'm obsessed with these motorcycles, and they're from the teens, you know, early teens to like 1920, whatever. But I don't have 200 grand to buy one, so I'm building a sculpture of one that when it's done, it'll look exact. You won't know that it's not a real motorcycle. Of course, it won't run.
Right.
But, you know, so I'm building that. But, you know, when I'm done with that thing, it'll be in the 20s, you know, 20-some $1,000. But
wow.
It's legit. Like I'm doing the engine I'm building the engine right now.
Yeah.
So, and it's, but like it's just made out of junk.
Right.
You know, there's no internals. But the coolest part, when you're doing it like that, you could add whatever you want to, because it doesn't have to run. So you can make it look all crazy and, you know, like, but so I'm hoping that, you know, if it's going to take well over a year to finish.
Wow.
You know, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to that stuff, you know. So,
yeah.
You know, if you're going to get some good money out of it, it's got to be legit. You know, you want these people to, like, I want to take it to some like bike shows, like the Race of Gentlemen. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
Up in Jersey. It's like the hot rod motorcycle. They race on the beach.
Oh, wow.
It's freaking awesome, man.
That's cool.
But it, you know, I want to take it up there with it's this vintage goodness of like true hot rods and true motorcycles. And, you know, it's not like street rods with, you know, it's vintage everything. But I want to take it there and put it in a lineup, and people are, you know, thinking I pulled this out of a barn. you know, like Drummond. I want to put Drummond Motorcycle Works on it, you know, like, but it'll be, you know, it's going to be legit. Of course, I won't want to sell it.
Right.
You know, that's the problem. I'll finish stuff and I'm like, I don't sell that.
Yeah.
So
actually,
but,
I was going to ask you that. Like, do you get
money talks?
You know, do you make something that you're like, oh man, I'm going to make a good money off of this, but I don't want to sell it. I want to keep it. And do you?
Oh
keep
yeah.
it?
Every time I make something, it's like almost everything I make is this. It's the same exact way, you know. It's like,
right.
But you know, then you have it around for a little bit. You kind of like, and you'll make something better. That's another thing. Like when I'm making stuff, I'll make something like, oh, this is amazing. I can't top this. Then I make something else that's even better, you know, and better and better and better. And it's just like, because I go back to my very like first robots that I made and that people were loving and they sold them, you know, and I'm just like, people thought this was cool. It's horrible. You know what I mean? But it's like, but they dig it. You know? So,
if you're putting your passion into it, people can see that in the work, whether it's not advanced enough yet.
Right.
It's still there. The love's still there.
Oh my God. I mean, I was looking at it the other day, like on my old, what the hell is that? Ooh, there's something in my house from one of those dead foots.
I was going to say.
Kicking shit around now.
Yeah. You're talking about it. So it's coming around.
Yeah, right. But it's like, oh, my skill level has like changed so much because I was looking at my stuff from way back and I'm just like, holy crap, that's horrible.
Right.
But people bought it and they were just like, and they still have it and they love it. You know what I mean?
Well, I look at it like anything, you know, don't be, because I look at it like anything else, like even music, you know, like maybe the first album the band put out was just kind of sucked, but they get better as they go on, but you still loved it, right? You loved it for a reason back in the day. And
like, what was your first podcast like? You know what I mean?
Oh, dude.
It's like, no.
It was fucking horrible.
But you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. My first couple ones are just like, I don't even know, man. Just stupid. I mean, I don't think I even put those online. Like I had to get a little better before I even put the first one out, you know?
Right.
But I like to look back on it. It's funny,
right?
You know?
Oh yeah. It's like that it still exists. You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta keep it forever.
Now I want to ask you about that guy in the background, because I saw him in pictures and I think he's the guy with the tongue. Yes. That dude right there.
Let's see if I can bring him over here.
Yeah.
My buddy made that for me. Where's he at? Yeah, he's just made out of stuff, you know, like foam and there we go.
He's so cool, man.
But yeah, it's just my buddy made, and I tried to get him to make me other ones and he wouldn't make. He used to do like special effects out in Hollywood.
Right.
And you know, I wanted this rat fink dude, and he just kind of, so he just made them for me, you know, like someone start making my own.
Right.
Because it's, you know, it's just made out of foam, you know. Right. I got all this crap, you know, there's, you know, all my hot rod models and just, you know, stuff. You look over here, there's,
oh yeah, there we go.
There's cars, old Studebaker. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool, man.
There's the very first Honda ever made or brought to America, Honda 600.
No way.
Yeah, it's got 10-inch tires on it.
What?
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's got,
dude, it looks like a Yugo.
It's smaller than a Yugo. It's got a motorcycle engine in the front.
Wow.
Got a 600cc.
That's crazy. Now you have you've acquired Dan Auerbach's car, his Subaru, right? The guy from the Black Keys.
His Subaru. Yeah.
Now, how did that deal happen? Like, did you buy it directly from him?
It's a Subaru Forester, by the way.
Nice.
5-speed with a sunroof. He didn't
nice.
See, you know, the whole nine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was cleaning that thing out, and there's guitar picks in the back and all kinds of crap.
That's cool.
But, no, my buddy is his wife or girlfriend is related to Dan's ex-wife.
Okay.
Stephanie. So and Dan would go over to Ronnie's house for Christmas and stuff, and you know, Ronnie sold him some guitars, and Ronnie wound up with his Subaru,
right?
Because it was hers, and then he got something different, and he gave it to me. So but I have to keep fixing it. Like the whole strut tower in the back just completely rusted out, and I weld that all up. And
shit, man.
But it's a cool little car.
You know what? That's a piece of rock and roll history right there, man.
It was free too.
It was free.
Free. Yeah, he gave it to me. He was gonna give me. He was gonna charge me $1,000, but then he's like, he felt bad, so.
Yeah, even better, man. Even better. That's awesome.
I know. You kind of wonder, like, is that thing worth anything? You know, it's just a Subaru. It's like nothing fancy, but it's kind of like Johnny Cash's Cadillac or whatever.
Well, I think of it like that. Like he was going around, hustling, trying to get, his music out there in that car.
Like the Black Keys are legit, man. They're like, like it was funny because I was working on that. I was putting a power steering line on it last night, and because it was leaking all over the place. Right. And I had Spotify on, and I'm like working underneath this car, and then the Black Keys rolls on. I'm like, that's just kind of weird. I'm like working on this car that Dan owns, and the Black Keys are playing in the background. And but I know it's just kind of one of those. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I'm sure there's like some huge Black Keys fan. You know what I mean? Like just goes crazy over them, and you say, hey, this is Dan's car, because the title, the previous owner said Dan Arbach on it. So it's like to them, like, is that car like, oh my God, I could drive around in something he was driving, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, but to me, it's just, it's just it's
a Subaru. Well,
that gets me through the winter.
The guitar picks and stuff like that, finding things like that are cool. You know what I mean? Like as someone it was a huge fan would be like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because I'm a huge fan of Black Keys. I went to Cleveland concert and all that. And Dan was at my other shop. I used to place the bomb shelter I used to own. Right. Me and another guy. But Dan was there. We had all kinds of people. Billy Gibbons was there hanging out in my studio with me. Wow. Like that dude is so awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was there for over an hour just hanging out. And I literally wasn't set up a big hardback book of Billy Gibbons in my studio, and he was like, oh wow, and so he was drawing pictures in it and on his phone flipping telling me all kinds of stories. And I don't know if I sent you a picture of Billy in the dragster. Yes, you did. Yeah, so, you did. I'll throw it in the video. But that dude is the coolest, humblest guy, because he had put me on the guest list for his show up there in Akron. Right. And I went there, and I'm just like sitting there. The third song rolls in, and he just stops the concert. So he's like, yeah, you got to go to my buddy's shop, like his store. He's got the coolest shit. It's like, I just met him one time, and he's telling the whole audience to go to my place. It's like, that's awesome. He gave me his business card, his personal business card. It says friends with Billy Gibbons, friends with Eric Clapton, and his number, and that's it. And Clapton has the hilarious. The different, the opposite card. Yeah. No, sir, that's awesome. Eric Clapton, friends with Billy Gibbons. Yeah. So, Pat Carney, he was at the shop, and now you have Social D. Mike Ness. Yeah, Mike Ness was there. That's sick. There's all kinds of people that come in there all the time. Yeah. So of course I'm not part of it anymore, but went and did my own thing. Absolutely. So now you also have Frank Yankovic's tour bus. No, I found his tour bus. You found it. 15 minutes from me. I'm supposed to cut the whole side of it off. Where is it? It's just in the middle of nowhere. It's in Akron, man. It's like, I went to look at a van. It's a buddy of mine. I know. I didn't know it was there. I went to look at a van he was going to get rid of. And, I moved these weeds around because the van was behind the bus. And I'm just like, I pull these things and it says Frank Yankovic, it's like King of Polka. Like he's Elvis, in the polka world. Right. He King of Polka. He inspired Weird Al, right? Right. Yeah. They're not related. They got the same name, but yeah, it's like, so it's like they wouldn't let me buy the whole bus. But, it's roached. It's beyond repair. Right. But the whole side of it's still there. It says Frank Yankovic on it. And I got pictures of him driving that bus, and it's the exact bus. So I'm trying to get I got to get it. It's a lot of work to cut this thing off, and now it's like 0 degrees out. So right. But
But it's yours though, essentially. Like once you can get out there and get it. I
hope so. If they don't get rid of it. Well, the guy that owns it is in his 90s.
Right.
So, so I gotta get it. The problem is I don't really have nowhere to put it once I get it cut off.
Yeah.
Because this is like a 25-foot long bus.
Right.
And it's from the I think the late 30s, the bus is, or early 40s. It's sweet.
It is. It's cool looking. I'll put up some pictures too of that.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, that's a huge piece of history, especially like Cleveland. He's from Cleveland, so
right.
It's if you're into polka, you know who that dude is.
Right.
I'm not a huge polka fan, but I know like that's legit. That's his first
tour absolutely. I mean,
ever had.
There's not many huge polka artists, and if there is, that's you know what I mean. That's him.
And that bust is on his album cover too.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. So
yeah.
But there it is, 15 minutes from my house to go look at some shitty van that I didn't buy.
Right.
And there's Frank Yankovic, but being a polka man.
Yeah. So now you've been on some TV shows. Pawn Stars, American Restoration, Lost in Sound.
I did some episodes of Pawn Stars selling them stuff, and American Restoration, I had something restored, and then Discovery Channel, like Lost and Found, they were filming at my other shop, and just a bunch of different other venues. Like,
what did you sell on Pawn Stars?
The first one I sold to Chumley, it was an antique grocery store, like a toy that from the 30s. They had those groceries in it, and it all folded out, and it was like, but I got it at the scrapyard for 50 cents. So I sold it for $100, and I didn't care. I was just there to go have fun.
Yeah, be on the show. Fuck it.
The other ones were these Chevy hood ornaments off a car. The ones that had like the flying ladies on them, stuff with the wings. And
yeah.
Super Art Deco. I had 5 of those. I got at the scrapyard, but like in the thing, they're not allowed to buy car parts in the state of Nevada. Pawn shops aren't.
Really?
Yeah. So they bought the one off me as a paperweight.
A paperweight.
So, yeah.
Wait. So you can't buy car parts.
Yeah. For some reason in the state of Nevada, they're regulated a pawn shop. They can buy a whole car, but they can't buy parts of a car.
That's really weird. Even if it's like something vintage like that, like just
anything. Even the producers didn't even know, like, because I had sent them the stuff, and the producers didn't even have a clue when we were filming. So
that's interesting.
Everybody thinks it's like completely scripted, like, no, you just you walk it, it's to a point, you can't just like walk into, hey, I want to sell this. And then, they're gonna start filming you.
They got to know what's happening.
It's set up like months in advance, and I set my stuff out there. But it's a legit deal. You're making a legit deal. You're negotiating with them. You don't have to sell it, whatever. So that part's all legit. You can only make reality TV so legit.
Right.
Like when you do pickers and stuff, everything's got to be set up.
Yeah, you got to know where you're going, what you're doing. You can't just show up someone's house and be like, I want to go see your shit.
Yeah, you got to get permission. You got camera crews.
Yeah.
So but it's fun. Yeah, my buddy Big Mike, he's I don't know if you've watched those shows. Yeah. He's on there like all the time. He was on there so much he got his own show. But that's how I got on TV, because I sold Big Mike an ice cream bike, a 3-wheeled ice cream bike, good humor from the 40s. And then that's when I met him, and we just kind of hit it off, and then he told the producers and all that stuff, left field production company, about my stuff and what I do. And so they would just start calling me or whatever and be like, hey, what do you got? And I just, every once in a while they'll call me up and I'll just send them a bunch of pictures and shit. Like for like Pawn Stars, if Mike or if Rick likes it, then he'd fly out there. But we'd fly out there together, me and Mike, and he'd do his episodes, I do my episodes. Like,
that's awesome.
Like he's like one of my best buddies now. He's like, the dude's super cool, man.
Yeah.
Like remember those girls that got abducted for 12 years up in Cleveland?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
In the Bay. Well, they did a movie called Cleveland Abduction. It was a movie about that.
Okay.
I was in the movie, and
no shit.
I was talking to Raymond Cruz. He plays Ario Castro. Raymond Cruz, he played Tuco on Breaking Bad.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so I was talking to that dude, but we were on the set where the where she gets abducted for the first time in this like hair salon, not like a store where they sell. And this creepy ass dude is leaning up against the Coke machine. I'm like, who let that guy in? But that was Raymond Cruz in character as Ariel Castro, just looking creepy as fuck. You know what I mean? It was like, but they had a truck. They had his truck there. Like it was a Ford F-100, and they had in the back. They had the plywood in the back, so all the cameras, and they took the back window out so they could film. And on the passenger side, they took all the door handles and shit off, so the women couldn't escape once they were in there. And we were on a set where his house was, and the truck was there again. And they were, and I tried to buy the truck. You know, I wanted the truck. So, but they leased it from somebody. You know, it was a creepy looking old red truck.
Right.
Well, then I was looking for a winter beater, and it showed up it was on Facebook. And it said, oh, it's used in a movie too. You know, and I asked the lady, I'm like, she's like, oh, it was in that Cleveland abduction movie. I'm like, I'll take it. So 5 years later, I wound up with the truck, you know?
Wow.
So I'm driving this truck around, you know, and it looks like a creeper truck. You know, my girlfriend's like, I'm not driving that thing. I tell people the story about it, and she's like, quit telling people about that thing. Like they literally had the truck blessed.
Right.
After the movie, it was blessed.
Wow. So I definitely, like, I gotta put this part in the podcast now. I hope Jen don't mind.
No, but you know what I mean? It was like, this truck was blessed, and it like, so I had it for about a year.
Right.
But the funny thing is, like, the day I bought it, I was driving it home, and it kept fucking up on me. It was like driving weird, you know? And it was like, well, here the part of the air pollution control system, there's a gasket that blew out, you know, and it was sucking all this air. So it had a big vacuum leak. And so I'm fixing it, and I pull this pod thing off for the vacuum canister, and it has a big old sticker on the front. It says 666. It's like, so it's like, ooh, what did I do?
Yeah.
So yeah, but you know, it was like, and I picked up my daughter from school in that thing a couple of times, you know, and I'm just like, ooh, this is embarrassing. You know, I just wanted it, just, you know, as a beater. I wanted a beater truck. It was a 84 F-100, you know,
right?
Just to ride around the winter, and I just happened to find that truck. Like it was kind of like meant to be, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I tried to buy it 5 years ago because I had a '58 Cadillac that I took up there, drove up there to be. It was supposed to be in one of the scenes. Right. I was an extra in the movie. You know, like I had the tattoos and all that stuff. So they wanted me like walking down the street. Then they wanted me to be out in front of where the when she was getting abducted and stuff like that.
Right.
That's how I met Raymond Cruz. He came out and bullshitted with me about that. She absolutely hated that truck, you know.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone now.
Yeah, I sold it.
Yeah.
I kept having too many. Dude, it kept breaking down and having problems with it all the time. I'm like, maybe I should just get rid of this thing, man.
Yeah.
That's like we talked about earlier. That's the curse. That was my curse truck. You know, it said 666 on the on the engine.
That'll do it, man.
So, but you know,
is there anything on the horizon for as far as like your own show, like, you know, doing your own thing, even like independently produced?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like, you know, when I had my other shop, they had come out and they wanted to do a show, and they came out and filmed like a sizzle reel and all that stuff, and nothing ever happened of it. So I know I'm waiting for my big break, you know. I know I'm on everybody else's shows. I want to have my own, I guess, you know.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, there's so many avenues now, you know, like obviously you'd want to get on a network or something like that, but even starting like a YouTube, you know, show.
That's one thing.
There's such a big market.
I started making some videos, YouTube videos.
Okay.
But it was like me and my girlfriend filming it, and it looked like crap, you know, because it's like we did it with an iPhone. It was in the wrong angle and stuff, so it's got this little tiny window of.
Right.
So, but no, I definitely want to do some YouTube stuff. Yeah. It's like, you know, it'd be cool of what I do in my place. And
absolutely. Even just like building one of the, you know, your robots and things like that would be cool. I mean, to see, you know.
It's amazing how many people take the time to, like, you know, I'm gonna put a carburetor on a car, and they take the time to show you how to do it. You know, you can fix anything. Just get on YouTube. Oh, this guy. So,
I know. Yeah.
I want to get involved. Like I said, you know, my technology skills aren't real good. So, but
that's all right. You got the basics.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere and get it done.
Yeah. So the whole point of this show basically is to like inspire people to find your passion and live it and actually do it, you know?
Oh yeah, your show's awesome.
Thanks, man. Thank you. I mean, this is certainly an outside of the box way of life that you live. Now it's hard work and it's a lot of work, but it's not work.
Oh, dude, I haven't had
what I'm saying?
25 plus years. Like, I don't get up and go to work. You know,
Yeah.
I get up and go to the scrapyard.
Right.
But it's like Christmas. You don't know which. Like, I never ever get sick of going to the scrapyard and digging through stuff ever.
Yeah.
So like, you know, my girlfriend, she had to get up this morning at like 6 o'clock. She's a school teacher, and go to school, and it was like -1.
Right.
You know, and I feel bad. Like, but she's gonna retire here and work, because I'm looking for another building to open up another business.
Yeah.
But I can't find it. I find it, but then the taxes are $15,000 a year. I'm like, I'm not spending over $1,000 a month just on taxes. So.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
But yeah, so I keep finding buildings, but I just, you know, just ain't meant to be. So
right. Yeah,
but
I mean,
I'm her future plan. So
right. I'm the same way, man. You know, I mean, I've never really had like a standard kind of job. I just do a bunch of odd bullshit to make money, and then I do the things I love to do in my time. You know, this isn't like, at least right now, bringing money in, you know, but this is like my 70th episode, and I fucking love doing it, man. And I do I do other shows too. Like, I do this live sometimes. But
look how many cool people you get to meet. You know what I mean?
It's great, so man. Awesome. I'm in a garage. Awesome, I'm in a garage, freezing, and I don't care because it's so much fun to just meet people, talk to people, network, and just, you know, I mean, I've gotten jobs out of it. Like, I've gotten, because I do graphic design and things like that, I've gotten design jobs out of it. Nothing like insane, but like, I just do odd shit just to make it. You know, my wife is in school as well. She's an administrator.
Yeah.
So yeah, she works from home ever since COVID, pretty much. Okay. But yeah, I feel bad when she's got to go to work, and I'm in the garage talking to Matt Hoffman and Damon Drummond.
Exactly, right? Matt Hoffman, I can't believe he had him on.
Yeah, that was nuts, man. And it's because he knew Joe, you know, otherwise I don't think it would even happen, because he doesn't do interviews. So that was like a really rare thing that I got there, and that was really cool. I was nervous.
Good old Joe. Well, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah. Joe's got me. One of the guys I have on the show all the time, Large Ray, is a bike BMX guy.
Okay.
I met him.
I see one of your episodes of him.
Oh man, he's ridiculous. We just bullshit for an hour and 2 hours, whatever it is. And people like it. It's just so stupid.
I drive in my car and I put on those, you know, talk radio things.
Right.
Instead of music. It's just fun listening to people bullshit.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. Just bullshitting. And we just laugh, make ridiculous jokes.
Oh, for sure.
And there's another guy I got from Joe, you know, so he's got me some interesting people. He's definitely part of making this happen.
Yeah, I mean, riding with Joe back in the day, that was so awesome, man. It was so fun.
Yeah.
But we just sit in the background while Joe did all his shit, and then we like make us look bad.
Yeah.
None of us could do anything that Joe did. You know what I mean? We thought we could ride. We were cool. And then we rode with Joe, and we were like, yeah, fuck. Let's just watch it.
Yeah, he's fucking, you know, bouncing on one wheel, you know, and you're like,
yeah.
I'm
doing handstands and shit.
I'm fucking hitting my ankles with pedals, you know.
I'm doing it. I did the wheelie. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I didn't see it. I missed it.
Right. So I want to ask you this. What's one piece of advice you would give an aspiring artist who doesn't know where to start? Like, most artists, let's face it, you know, they start off broke. A lot of them stay broke. But what's one piece of advice you can give them to get it started? You just
got to stay with it, man. You know, I'm like, if it's something you want to do, it's like you got a passion for it.
Right.
Just do it. You know what I mean? It's just give it a try. If it doesn't work, you know, it doesn't work, but just, you know, do it.
Move on to the next. Just that's what I do. Like, I just do everything.
Like, people always just like, aren't you afraid like not having a regular job? Like, dude, it's like, I couldn't make the money that I make going and getting a job and like working for somebody at a set, you know what I mean?
Right.
If I can make $3,000 a day if I wanted to, just with all my shit, dude, I got so much shit to sell. And it's just like, but
yeah,
but I just like, when I bought this place, it's in Coppy, it's a good area. Because before I was, I had places there $2,000 a month to rent a warehouse,
Yeah.
I bought this place and it's like a little over $600 a month with insurance.
And you live there? I mean?
And I live there upstairs. We got a 1,400 square foot apartment above
Dude,
it.
that's insane.
Square foot.
That's
it's
insane.
100 by 40 garage. We're on 4 acres. I got a river behind me. We got, it's like, so.
Dude, I live in a shed on a fucking like 10,000 square foot lot. And
this, like I said, this is a good area. My daughter goes to good school.
3 times that. Yeah.
It's like $640 a month.
That's insane.
And that's
insane. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Because I keep thinking I want to, I got like 100 acres behind me. I ride my dirt bike on.
Yeah.
I don't have 100 acres, but it's just empty land.
Right, right.
So
that's crazy.
It's awesome, man. It's like, but then like if I could rent, I could rent this place out for $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
But it's like renting places, man. It's just the worst.
Well, yeah, because now you're a landlord. Yeah. Now you gotta like worry about tenants.
Like I can't believe like how much it costs to rent a 1-bedroom apartment now. I see on Facebook and stuff, and it'd be like $1,200. And I was like,
oh man, dude, you can't get on Long Island where I am. You cannot get an apartment 1 bedroom for less than $2,500.
It's like, well, that's like California, Long Island, that kind of stuff. But like, just like in a regular Akron or whatever, it's like $900 for a crappy 1 bedroom. I'm like, crap.
Yeah. That would be a dream here, but I understand what you're saying. That
you've lived there forever, though, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, we lived in Connecticut for a while, but I mean, it's not much different.
Okay.
I want to get out of here. It's just it's so ridiculous here, man. It's so ridiculous.
I couldn't see like with me. There's like no stress of like, I got to pay the mortgage. I'm like, it's $600. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it makes you lazy too, though. Like, fuck, I don't make any money right now. So it's like, but yeah, it's my girlfriend found this place. We pulled in the driveway. It's like 800 feet off the street. We didn't even get in the house. We're like sold.
Yeah.
Right. $139,000.
That's sick, man. That's so insane.
But it was an old dairy, so it's kind of like, everybody wants the 5,000 square foot house with the 1,400 square foot garage. I got the opposite.
Right.
But upstairs, it's pimp upstairs. We got, it's got 2 bedrooms. It's the living room and the kitchen's all one open.
Right.
It's got a bathroom. It's got a laundry room.
Yeah.
1,400 square foot. Some people don't even have that as their house.
Yeah. My house is barely that, dude.
You know what I mean? So
it's like, bigger than that, but it's crazy.
The big, like my last place was 16,000 square feet.
Yeah.
The warehouse outlet, but it was like, it's too big. You get too big. They couldn't heat it.
Right.
It was an ice tomb in the wintertime, but so
man.
So yeah, I'm gonna find something eventually because I just want to sprawl out and get bigger and bigger.
Absolutely, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck, man. I hope to see you out there. I hope to see you on something TV, YouTube, anything, man, because your shit is really amazing. And actually, before we go, I wanted to talk about your girlfriend's art. What's her name?
Jen.
Dude. So basically
probably like that.
Yeah. What Jen does is you'll get like some thrift store paintings. It could be of just like a mountain or something kind of generic.
Yeah, those really bad thrift store paintings. What I mean? Like carving artist ones.
And she'll take it and add things to it that like, what's a good example? Some of the ones you sent me. I'm going to put some pictures up.
Like the one is like, I got it. It's like a lake with the mountains in the background. And she put the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea there.
Yes.
With a big giant octopus grabbing it and the 2 guys escaped.
Yeah. I'm looking at that right now.
So
these are just so cool, man. They're so cool. There's one with like, there's like an Asian one, but she put Street Fighter characters in it.
She did the Street Fighter.
Dude, it's so good.
Just the two. There's three guys, like the two street fighters, and there's a girl sitting up on the roof.
Yes.
And then she did the swirls in the sand. But other than that, the regular picture,
right?
I didn't have a before picture because I like to show the befores and then the after, you know.
Yeah.
But
no, those are so cool. I'm going to put those up. And is there anywhere online people can see those? As of right now,
she puts them on Facebook and her Instagram, but I don't know what Jennifer Avers.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of people doing the whole, you know, altering paintings, but some of them are just horrible. I'm not going to mention that. This one guy does. I'm not going to say his name or nothing, but he's got like tons of people like loving it, but it's like, what the? It's so bad. It's like he doesn't put feed or nothing. He hides it with something. It's just like it looks like he took like a color forms, you know, like he cut something out and then put it on there.
Right.
She blends all her stuff. She knows colors really well, so she likes. It's supposed to look like it's been there, you know, but like
that's exactly what it does look like. It looks like it's naturally made like that, and that's what's so cool about it.
Like some stuff people don't even notice it.
Yeah.
Because it's in there so well that they don't have a clue that it's
right.
You know?
Yeah, it's really cool. And where can we find your, like, do you have a online? I know your website's down, but like an online portfolio besides Instagram?
No.
Okay, so I'll put your Instagram.
I just pretty much use Instagram. I used to use Flickr. I don't know. I guess there's stuff on there still. And like when you said you looked me up, there's a bunch of stuff. A lot of that goes back to Flickr.
Okay.
Like pictures and stuff, but I haven't been on that in years, man.
Yeah, I don't even think that, like, I mean, it still exists, but I don't think people use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like MySpace, you know?
Exactly. Things become antiquated quick. Yeah.
So, had it self-promotion. That's ridiculous.
Oh, you have no idea, man. Me too. Like this really relies on social media, and I suck at it.
Yeah.
So
there's those people that you know, it's like, oh, I got 17 million views.
Yeah.
You know,
if I get 100, if I get like 300 views, I'm like, holy shit, man.
Right?
I've made it.
Yeah. Like I'll post stuff on Instagram, you know, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Right. It's like 100.
I don't have the time or the patience to do it. I need someone to like do it for me, you know, but I'm not at that point yet. So,
I mean, I guess I got such a passion for it. I'm not really into it to like, get famous for it. You know what I mean? I just love doing it and selling.
Absolutely. And that's all you need to do, really, you know? But if you want to, you know, unfortunately in this day and age, if you want to sell shit, you got to really put it out there. You know,
trust me, it'd be real nice to be famous and known about it, but you know, it's like,
right.
I do what I do, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, it's honestly, man, it's really inspiring. And I hope I get out there in the summer to check it out, because I'd really love to see it.
You definitely got to come out here, man.
And I have one more question that I ask everybody. And
sure.
It's a really easy question. On a scale from 1 to hell fucking yeah, that would be 10. How much fun did you have being here today?
I'm gonna go with a 1.
I've been waiting for that. Like, this sucked. 1.
This is lame. See you later.
Yeah.
No, man, it was hell fucking yeah, dude. It was awesome.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, so, man. One time I always get hell fucking yeah, but one time I got an 8. And I was like, dude.
An 8.
I was like, I appreciate the 8, but I'm not asking you as like, you know, like a friend or anything. I'm asking you because I want you to say hell fucking yeah.
Right? Oh yeah. What do people think of that name that you have? Like, because when I tell people like, yeah, there's a podcast and it's hell fucking yeah, and they're like, what?
Yeah. It's really funny because when I first started doing this, I didn't even think about that. I was just like, it's something I say all the time, you know, or like an emotion, you know. And then I was like, you know what? As I was going on, I was like, is it too much? Like, is it going to turn people off? And is really surprised how many people really dig it. Like, you know the show Hoarders?
Yeah. I watched that video of that dude.
Matt Paxton. Right. He, you know, he's really cool. But he deals with like like real companies. He deals with
right, yeah,
like A&E and History Channel and PBS and like Penguin. He just put out a book, so he deals with like Penguin Random House and all that stuff. And like I'm on his list of shows that he's been on. And it goes around to like publicists and all this stuff, and he's just like, yeah, he's like, everyone digs it. I'm like, really? I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, it's kind of
works
like,
for me.
If they're offended by it, you don't want them on your show anyhow, really.
One time,
that's horrible for them.
Yeah. One time I was going to have this guy on, and he was like a really, really religious guy. And he didn't mind the curse. He thought it was a slight against religion. I had to explain it. I had to explain it to his publicist that that's not what it is. It's just like, hell fucking yeah, like an emotion, like, you know,
right,
like excitement. That's all it is. And then he did the show and he didn't say a word about it. So if it's taken out of context, maybe.
Yeah.
But as you can see on the logo, I just cover the U, and that's kind of how I get away with it. Because when you go to the podcast platforms, they like censor it or they take it down.
Okay.
So when I do that, they can't do anything about it.
I love the intro where they're singing.
Yeah, yeah. I get asked about that all the time.
Where'd that come from? Like, who did the?
So there's a website called Fiverr.
Okay.
And they basically do shit you don't want to do. Like, if you need a graphic or you need like a theme song or something, or even like a little jingle, they'll do it for you for $5 to $20. Like, it's pretty cheap.
Okay.
So I wanted it to sound like heavy metal kind of. So I found this guy in Italy. He's an Italian heavy metal singer. I'm like, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. It was like $10. I was like, dude, all I need is you to scream hell fucking yeah. That's all I need you to do. And he's like, I'll do one even better. He's like, I have a band. He's like, we'll play the music too. I was like, fuck, awesome. Hell fucking yeah. And he sent it to me. I was like, oh my God, man, this is absolutely perfect. And it's became the theme.
From Italy?
From Italy for $10, dude.
Nice.
And I own it. It's mine. You know what I mean? Like, I own the rights to it.
You're rolling in the big bucks now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this is fucking perfect.
Oh, it's perfect. It is perfect.
Yeah. Thank you. Because
When
I first started it, I made like, I don't even know what the hell. The first like couple episodes, I had like this own. I was talking on it. It just sounded so stupid. I was I need something just like punchy, you know, and then that's where that came from. So yeah.
right on.
Yeah. So
I got a Casio keyboard right next to me from the 80s. I could have rolled you out of tune.
Oh, dude, that would have been awesome, man. I love shit like that.
Like,
you know?
Yeah. And it sounds like it's from the 80s. So
I'm totally into DIY everything. So one of my guests, Andrew, made me that flag right there. He sews flags with the devil horns there.
Okay.
He's in the band Fun. You know the band Fun?
Yeah. I just watched your interview with that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He made me that flag, so it's kind of cool to have that like community collective, you know.
Oh, for sure.
I get like all kinds of signed records. There's so many perks, you know. Even the guy from Hoarders sent me his book like the other day. I didn't even know I was getting it.
Sweet.
I go in the mailbox and like people send me all this cool shit. And honestly, if I never got a dime for doing any of this, just that alone is fucking cool to me.
So if you get some old rusty, oily chain in the mail, that's right.
Yeah. I welcome it, man. That'd be awesome.
Right.
Damon, man, it was an absolute pleasure. And
same here, brother. Same here, man.
I will see you hopefully, you know, this summer, or if not, we'll definitely keep in touch.
Like I said, you're always welcome, man.
Appreciate that, man. Would love to.
This is my first podcast.
Really?
I'm proud.
You did a great job, man. Because I couldn't tell it was your first, dude.
Dude, that was a blast, man.
Same here, man. Thank you so much. And like I said, we'll keep in touch.
Cool.
All right, Damon. Thank you, man.
All right, man.
Talk to you in a little bit.
Later.
Peace.